It's not. It's literally just recording the Discord screen. So it's
Shouldn't be too big.
Oh wow.
No, but what I mean, this shouldn't be heavy.
No, I mean like the I was talking about the emojis, not
Oh yeah,
not your comment about being too big.
I was like, oh,
Jeez, Brandon.
my bad.
Wow.
God damn.
Great
Whoa,
start. Great
whoa,
start.
whoa! Shots fired at me. What the fuck, dude?
This is off to a great start.
You're right.
You can't just put me under the spotlight like
Oop.
that.
There we go.
Okay. Are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go. So today is February 25th, 2024. We are on session 7 of our campaign called Toss the Colors.
Captain's log.
Exactly. Captain's log. Okay. Are you able to hear the music or am I crazy?
Yes.
Okay. So, last we left off in the last session, let's see. Let me see my notes. Last session. Kadani, Tanji, Falcon, and Drench took a little visit to Madame Madonna, a dark fae who gave Falcon a little bit of a fortune regarding the missing person that Falcon is looking for, and proceeded to shop a little around the dock district. Meanwhile, Matthew and Maeve paid a little visit to Wheat Treat, with met with a distraught Jarush, who had told them that Dhinlahyn had been attacked by a strange human man, and Yolan had a seizure and had to be taken to the medical unit at the city hall. Shortly after, the group met at the city hall with Jarush in tow, who then relayed that information to Tanji. And shortly after, Tanji ran to Wheat Treat to cook up a nice fish dinner while the rest of the group checked in on the laboratories, in which they were told that the hair sample that they found at Elemental Bliss belonged to a good fellow called Marcus Good. Shortly after, they met with the mayor, who had given them permission to walk Corvale University and talk to the headmaster, Effian Elis. And also that they wanted to go ahead and visit the house of Marcus Good, with Tanji and tow as well. Investigating Marcus's Good house, they found a couple pieces of evidence, including the strange liquid on the floor, engaging in combat with a not so well Marcus Good, and a presumed lady friend. Also finding a map of ocean routes. Upon telling the mayor about this attack, they had detained Marcus Good, saying that they would take him in for further observation and testing. And then everyone returned back to their homes, with the exception of Matthew, who decided to take a little visit to Maeveryn's dwelling, in which she found a little gift from Val that held 3 health potions and 6 scenting stones. Maeveryn and Matthew, you're at the doorstep of Maeveryn's home. There's some warm light coming from the windows, but it's pretty silent. What do you do?
Maybe no one's even home. Maybe we should come back another time, maybe.
Would you prefer that?
I'm just gonna open the door.
when you open the door, you see your mother in the kitchen, reading some papers on the counter, and your father sitting in a sofa chair, reading with his glasses on. Both of you catching their attention. Um, but your mother only seeing you initially, Maeveryn. Hello, darling. How was your day?
Good. I brought a co-worker with me to. We were in Tallinn working, and Matthew, Sir Matthew Bleakwood, and my parents, Bertrand and Elisa.
Afternoon. Maeveryn earlier today had made mention of making acquaintance with you two, and we were passing by, and so I figured that since I live rather far, it would be a good opportunity to make a meeting, as she mentioned.
But if you're busy, we could come back some other time.
They both look at you, Maeveryn, a little bit confused, but then once Matthew enters, they both kind of straighten up a little bit. Maeveryn, make an insight check, and Brandon, make a history check.
Okay. $19.
History, you said, correct? Where's that? That's a 12.
Okay. So, Maeveryn, despite your nerves, you observe that both your mother and father are pretty tired and were relaxing. However, upon seeing Matthew, your mother is a bit shocked, but seems to compose herself a little bit, and clears her throat, while your father furrows his eyebrows, but starts to stand up and walk towards Matthew. Well, nice to meet you. And he holds out his hand to shake your hand.
A pleasure, and you will shake it.
Wow. Yes, we're sorry for the mess. We were not expecting guests.
Oh, do not worry. It's a simple gesture for politeness. I understand that your daughter is quite fond of creating bridge between her colleague, and so I figured that not fighting her was better off.
Probably smart.
Right. Your mother starts to put away her papers. So, darling, what is the meaning of this? No offense. We're always glad to have guests.
Yes. What is the meaning of this? It was an interesting day. A lot happened and was said and done, and somehow we are here by my own doing. And maybe we should do tea. Do we have tea? Can we do tea?
Your mother looks over at your father, who is still furrowing his eyebrows, but kind of shakes it off. He goes, "Of course. How rude of us. Pardon. It's been a long day. Darling, would you?" And he motions, and your mother starts to make tea, and he motions both of you to sit down on the sofas in the living room, and he sits across from you. Well, I presume that the job is also new to you.
It certainly is. At the same time of Maeveryn, I was hired by the mayor.
Ah, yes, the mayor. Very noble man. I couldn't help but notice your robes. Are you originally from here?
No, I was born and raised within the wall of Vaxilin, within the upper city.
Oh, I see.
But I've moved away from it and arrived in Pyre due to life circumstance about 8 years ago.
Well, I heard that Vaxilin surely is a disciplined place.
We pride ourselves with such mannerism and devout to us discipline and the knowledge of weaponry.
He sits back in his chair, and as he does, your mother brings over the tea and sets it down, seemingly a little more nervous as she sits down next to your father. Well, that's surely, an interesting place to grow up. I have to say, it is quite daunting. Everything that's going on there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, certainly. Time is our interesting, to say the least.
Well, darling,
Matthew has a son
Certainly have.
who can play with Elandrin, which is the reason that I wanted to introduce him to you guys. I forgot that. So, because Elandrin doesn't really have all that many friends, so I thought that would be a great idea. And she's going to just start sipping her tea.
ooh, you have a child. How old are you exactly?
How old am I?
If you don't mind me asking.
No, absolutely not. I'm 42.
42. Well, well. You say you have a son. And how old is he?
I believe he's 5.
Oh, 5. London's around about that age, yes.
So I heard.
I'm sure that we could arrange something eventually. And she looks to your father, who's been eyeing up Matthew. We could possibly arrange that as soon as as soon as Elandrin is ready for it. She's still quite ill.
Certainly, that is no issue at all. Again, if you do not feel comfortable with it, I do not mind.
Well,
It was mainly your daughter's idea.
Guilty.
oh, it was.
Well, I thought it would be nice for Elandrin to have a playmate of her own age for once. I mean, she's always stuck with just us and her babysitter. It could be good for her health to get out a little, you know.
Well, that is very kind of you, darling, and as I do agree that Elandrin could use some companionship at the moment, please forgive me by saying that I would rather to gain a little bit more trust given your history.
Certainly understandable.
History?
Your father just looks at the both of you and starts to get up and kisses your mother on the cheek. I am very tired. I'm going to go to bed now. I love you, darling. And he goes over to you and kisses you on the head. Good night. And he heads to the room.
Good night, Father.
Please forgive us. It's been a very, very long day, and I'm sure that Elandrin would love to have somebody to play with. yes, we can arrange that very soon.
Certainly, and again, there is no issue at all. I did not mean to overstay my welcome or derange you during this fine night. I believe I'll be on my way if you need.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for coming. She stands up and leads you to the door.
I'm gonna follow as well. I'll walk you out.
Certainly. Thank you for the tea. It was wonderful. A fine night.
Have a safe trip home.
I'm gonna walk him outside and close the door. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
I've never seen my father act like that before.
I assume your father is not a Vaxan, correct?
No, he's not.
Then his reaction is more than fine, or understandable at least.
I don't think so. People are from everywhere here in Dhinlahyn. I understand the history, but I've that reaction was not appropriate, and I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. Once again, it's understandable. You send my regards to him and your mother. I did not mean to disturb.
No, you won't. You were perfect. Have a good night, Matthew.
You as well. Have a fine night. And you will walk.
She's gonna go back inside.
Your mother is rinsing off the cups that you guys are drinking. Kind of seemingly a little out of it.
Hi. Sorry for just dropping in like that. That was, Father was not really his biggest fan, huh?
Excellent. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, I will talk to your father. However, just know that his reaction to that place is a little bit close for him. But you will understand more in the future.
Well, I understand that it might have been a shock for me to just bring a stranger into the home so suddenly, but I hope that you also understand that it has been some time since I have been close to anybody. So I just thought it might be nice to introduce a friend to you all, and I suppose I was wrong. And I think I should just go to bed.
Darling mate. She walks over to you and takes your hands. Your father and I couldn't be more proud of you. Putting yourself out there and being brave for the city. And rest assured your father does love you very, very much. However, there are things that you do not know that cause him to be a little more protective than maybe he should be. Certainly, your friend seems very good and kind-hearted. However, I don't think your father sees that at the moment. So please, give it time. And I promise that it will make sense one day.
It'll make sense one day, but I'm grown. I'm not a child anymore, and you don't need to keep secrets anymore to protect me. I mean, I'm the one who does the protecting now.
I know. And she caresses your face. However, it's not just my decision to make.
All right. Thank you for the tea.
I love you very much, darling. Please don't worry too much about it.
I love you too. She's gonna walk off.
Matthew, on your way home, walking, taking in the night air, the interaction that you just had beside what was very evident, when you read the room, comes and goes. However, you feel like you knew Elisa somehow.
Elisa being Maeveryn's mother, correct?
Yeah, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And you head home. Kids are already asleep. Sir Sarosh is already asleep. And everyone sleeps well. Everyone sleeps well. Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. Okay. So, the next morning, it is now Purg Day, the 19th of Halus 1. And you were all called to the mayor's office to get, just one last, briefing, about your day that you have planned. So yeah, you guys, are currently in the city center lobby. It's early sunrise. What do you do?
I'm gonna have Maeve walk up to Matthew and just be like, "Morning. Did you get home safe? I mean, obviously, how was your night?"
Average, as one can expect.
Sure. Good to see you.
As well.
So
Are they doing this in front of like the other people in the group?
I assume so.
Yeah,
Probably.
we're all
Yeah, all of you guys are in the lobby.
Can we roll insight checks?
Yeah.
Just be like, all right, what level of
Maeve just kind of.
happening?
Oh, good morning.
13. Oh, Katani!
Johnny rolled a 21.
19!
My god.
Oh my god.
So like, all right.
I got a
Like-
9 on deception.
Oh, even I see it then. That's
Oh no.
Painful.
Youch. Morning, everyone.
Whispers to the other people. It's like, do you think they're okay?
Have they been okay since we met them?
That is very true.
I've got up on the didn't pick
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone sleep well?
Fine.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, where's Drench?
I'm not too sure.
No idea.
go into the medical wing again?
That
Perhaps.
would be unfortunate.
The last time I saw him was actually in the paper of this morning.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
big
right. We
news.
show 'em the paper when we can.
The celebrity now. Got to hide his face.
Perhaps we should get to work.
Certainly. Does anyone remember the time of the funeral today?
Like a history check.
Exact time.
Would think
History check.
History check.
Oh!
12.
Dirty 20.
4.
And
7.
Matthew, you remember Mayor saying,
Nobody in this group has said that.
Is it the guy who asked? Was just checking if y'all knew.
do you fuckers remember? No, because I do.
Because I do.
We assumed you knew.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all stored up there, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Which is-
Yes, okay. You remember that the mayor had told you on Town's Day that the funeral was today, very late sundown.
Sundown. Okay.
Very, very late.
Alright. Late on the sundown.
Okay, we have time to fill then.
During the day.
Well, we still have to go to the Corvale University.
That we have.
Perhaps we should do that first.
Absolutely.
We do have a time constraint on the pass.
Yes.
You hear a whirring sound. A familiar voice comes on saying, "Investigative unit to the mayor's office, please. Investigative unit to the mayor's office."
Is he
Shocker.
about to tell us to go do what we just agreed to do? I hate it when that happens.
Let's just go and find out.
Fine.
It's off to work we go. She like kind of just
Do-do.
things as she bounces over to the office.
Okay.
I do a little head bob along with it.
Yeah, Maeve's biting back a smile.
Same fashion, you enter. He's still sitting at his desk, catches you, coming in, goes, "Oh, yes, so good to see you this morning. How are we?"
We are doing excellent this morning.
Some more than others feels like, but we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine.
Yes, well, I just wanted to come tell you, or at least you guys came here to tell me, that, yes, the sample, in which you submitted to the laboratory of the black substance, our scientists and alchemists couldn't quite, pinpoint the purpose of the substance other than it's some form of mutation or transmutation substance. And since you are going to the university today, I would like to seek out a professor there who specializes in poisons and potions. Professor Ramsey Levant is who you need to see. Please take the sample, and he takes out the black vial and hands it to one of you, and see what he can deduce from it. He may have more knowledge upon these sort of things. Also, an update on your companion Tanji, Yonan. It seems as though he is making a good recovery.
Does that mean if we found other people in this condition, similar recovery could be undergone?
Well, given that it seems as though the spread of this infection of sorts was caught very early on, we were able to do a blood transfusion and rid his body of, or his bloodstream of the substance in a timely manner. However, when it comes to Marcus Good, upon further examination, it seemed as though he will not make any sort of recovery, especially since he is hostile. However, we will still keep trying. But Yolon is completely rid of the substance. And so we will still want him here for a few days just to make sure. But rest assured, he will be alright. Now, when it comes to the Half Moon Ball, I do want to remind you all that even though this is a time for celebration and festivities for everyone in the city, I do advise you to keep on your guard. Given the sudden attacks throughout the city, thankfully has not hit. Oh no!
No!
Oh no! Wi-Fi!
No!
Mayor, you okay? No!
Mayor, mate, Tenji is crossing dimension. Tenji is lag switching.
We have to wait. Hanji's the only one who knows anything of what's going on.
Now there it is.
Hey.
Did you say something, Michael, before I started talking again?
No, I heard you begin updates on Yolan after you explained that
Well,
our other victim would not be able to recover.
Yes, right. Rewind.
Oops.
You're okay. However, we will keep him under a close eye, given his hostility, and rest assured that Yodon has been rid of the substance, and we want to keep him here for a few more days just to make sure, but rest assured, he will be alright.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. And the last thing before I let you go, pertaining to the Half Moon Ball, even though this celebration is meant for everybody in the city, I do advise you to keep on your guard given the attacks that have happened in the city. We don't know what is this spread, we don't know what is causing it or who is causing it. And so, it is best that we all keep our eyes peeled. But yes, also give this to Headmaster for me, and he hands one of you a very nice piece of envelope. It is her formal invitation to the Half Moon Ball. Other than that, I have no other updates for you. Is there anything you would like to tell me?
Can I look at the group and ask? We still don't know. I have the fucking words, and now they have run away from me. Arthurine. That one. Do I? Something tells me he's more connected to all of this than not the disease, but more disappearances. And we don't. I should we ask like if we can get permission to question him?
I mean, I had a lot of questions for him, but I didn't know how much you guys covered during the investigation and attack at his house. So if we can get more information from him, that'd be wonderful, Mayor.
Yeah.
has been sent to Blackwell Prison, in the mountains of Valheim. Um, and so yes, I could be able to facilitate a visitation for you all. However, I don't know how he would be able to really continue his disgusting work within those prison walls, unless you have possible suspects of accomplices.
Not his work,
I'm
but we're wondering if he was in league with anybody else. I mean, 6+ people is a lot of people to go missing by themselves at the same time that other disappearances are happening, as well as this new disease popping up when he obviously had a laboratory and area to work.
and whatever he did to Lucius, of which, as far as I'm aware, we still don't know what the fuck happened there or what he was trying to do.
Well, our enforcers had investigated his laboratory after you all had detained him. All that they had found was not only pieces of clothing and jewelry from his previous victims, which were primarily women of all different races, but also a lot of the work seemed to be related to radioactivity or nuclear um, substances. There's no mention of transmutation rituals or practices of that nature. It seemed to be more on the scientific side rather than the nature and mythical side, if that makes sense.
Right.
But we don't know what happened to the remains, do we not?
The remains of
The people.
If I am to recall, there were some of their men within the chamber downstairs, no?
well, what wasn't in the paper was that when he was through with his victims, and pardon the morbid picture, he seemed to have dissolved their bodies in an acidic product as to get rid of the evidence, aside from the personal belongings of the victims.
Okay.
I may have a last piece of question for you, Mayor. Yesterday night, during our investigation in the home, we found this map, and I bring the map that was the naval route that seemed to from a port towards nowhere. Would by any chance this location be of any significance?
Are you talking about in like the middle of the ocean?
Yeah, the middle of the ocean, the like the void of a space.
Not this location in particular, however. Maybe Jiminy might know more about it, given that he is more well depth in sailor routes. No.
Let's see. It's fine, but thanks for the lead.
Of course.
All
That'd
right.
be a good idea. Talk to Jim about a few things.
We can visit him
Um,
after the university, before the funeral.
Certainly.
Mhm.
Do we recall where the well? I guess is there like just one graveyard within Pyre, or like or funeral house, or
In pertaining to Lucius or
no? Sorry, out of character. Sorry, I mean,
oh, in pertaining to like Lucius or just like in general?
Well, in general, but yeah, partaking to Lucius, yeah. Like, do you know where exactly? I assume we know, but where is it? Which district?
So, in terms of funeral homes, those would most likely be closer to the city center south of it. If you look at the map,
Mal-
The
you look
mope.
at
I'm the
the
mouth. I'm the
Mal-
mouth. I'm the mouth. I'm the mouth.
the city map. So funeral homes would kind of be south of the city hall, like right before like the dock district kind of comes into play. As far as
Okay.
graveyards, those would definitely be in the rural areas of Valheim, closer to um, the um, the cliff sides, and also the grass and tree area that's outside of the city.
Fair enough.
But there's no like famous graveyard or anything like that.
The mountain top of the grave.
Oh, and as
Whoa.
far as Lucius, the funeral for Lucius will be held at his family's home in south of Talon.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, shall we get going?
I think so.
Aye.
Alright.
Nice. I fid you. I do. And he goes back to writing.
I ask you to have a wonderful day. And she bows and like skedaddles out.
I say goodbye. And Maeveryn just awkwardly walk away.
I'm not stating
I
anything
walk
as I leave. I state as I walk.
Lame. Another word.
Just walk out.
As we go head out, hey Matthew, and I'm gonna pull out like this round looking, almost looks like a quiver, but it hangs over by my belt. It pops a lid off of it. Do you want to put the map in here by any chance? It's a
Certainly.
map case. It's got a bunch of other papers in there.
Certainly.
Awesome.
And he will give it to you.
Out of character, who has the vial and who has the invitation?
I assumed Matthew.
I thought Matthew had the vial.
You got
I can have
let's
the
say Kadani picked up the invitation. That
That's
feels on
good.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
it
It was
does.
shiny. Of course, yeah. She.
Little map.
Uh,
Trusting the adult with the dangerous vial of poison. I see. Okay.
I'm gonna kind of tap Tanji on the shoulder. And go. Can I borrow you for a second, Tanji?
Patting myself down real quick. I know where everything is, okay? I'll know if it goes anywhere. And I'll walk off with her.
Zero trust. Zero
damn,
trust
that
in the
was-
homegirl.
Glad to see you trust me, though I can't say I blame you. I just want to apologize for yesterday. I don't really like people asking about my past, and I snapped at you, and I'm sorry.
I mean, you don't gotta be sorry. I kind of pried. I had expected something. I just had to make a few things clear. Or felt I did.
If there's ever need for my connections, I'll let you know. All right, just have to trust me on that.
I think we could work on a lot more trust in the group.
Perhaps.
Keep it up, Pearls. He's gonna walk away.
Wow. Pearls. Great. Awesome. Thank you, Tanji. Awesome. Just gonna walk.
As you guys are walking out, in the distance, you guys see a familiar tiefling holding a large bouquet of flowers and a basket full of pastries. Kind of running up the steps. It's Jerush.
Oh.
He sees all of you. He goes, "Hey guys, I gotta run. Tanji, you know Yolan's awake, right? I just got the message. He's awake. Do you wanna come? Do you wanna say hi?"
Are we
Yes,
heading
he
out
does.
now?
Yes, he
no,
does.
I do. I do. I do.
Kidani kind of pushes Tanji.
A slide like up steps.
But you all are welcome to come too if you want. Come on, Tanji. And he starts running inside.
I'll follow.
Karma for calling me Pearls.
So he's running, he's booking it. And he doesn't even check in with the lady. She's like, "Hey, you have to," and then he just runs past. Beelines to the room, opens the door, and there Yolan is, kind of half awake. But with the sight of Jerush, his eyes light up and he tries to sit up. He goes, "Bumblebee." And Jerush drops the flowers and the basket and he runs over to Yolan and gives him a kiss and a hug. And then he goes, "I thought you would never wake up. My God. Oh, thank God, thank God."
Anji comes in. Just sees them, kind of smirks and slides to the corner of the room, and just watches for a minute as everyone comes in. After Jerush comes up from the hug, you know, you took your sweet time.
Yolan laughs, but Jerush takes you by the arm and pulls you up onto the bed and like pulls you into like this big hug. So all three of you are just like hugging. And then Yolan says, "I missed you too, kid."
You're gonna have to probably be a bit of a lab rat, but stay close. Take care of you.
You know me. Always getting myself into trouble. We're not too different, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Pretty great myself, but we'll see.
Darush lets you off of the bed like a child, and then he sits by Yolan, kind of just like holding his hand and kissing it. He looks over to you. He goes, "Now, whatever you do, Tanji, do not," and I repeat, "do not make a mess of Wheat Treat while I'm away, okay?"
Well, I mean, I'll be there when I can. You're gonna have to tell this guy over here not to. I gotta hunt down bastards who apparently going around biting people like animals.
Yes, I suppose, but I'll be here for a while, so if you do get there, watch over the place, okay?
Of course.
Alright. All of his attention is to Yolan.
Alright. We can come back. Turning to the group. We can come back, I think, tomorrow or late tonight to talk with him about details. Anything that Jerush might have missed. And maybe effects of everything, but let's give him space.
They're very cute.
What did I miss?
That
Why
is
is Matthew dying? Why?
Uh, when you guys are leaving the medical unit, a door opens and you see a familiar lizard folk being questioned by a bunch of the medical professionals there, asking him about his magic, his abilities when it comes to healing. And so you presume that's what he'll be doing for most of the day.
I'm staying out of this one.
I mean, his
Lemon.
magic can't be that great. I didn't get any healing yesterday.
Like I said, he's a celebrity.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Y'all saw the newspaper, right?
Of course.
Certainly have. I believe you made quite the impression about simply existing. To be fair, they are quite the oddity.
We'll bring him a snack on our way back.
Certainly.
Nothing with us. Nothing.
Should we get to work?
That is why we are here.
We have to.
Joyous remarks from the chorus.
All right.
Never have a bad day.
Yeah, why is there so much more?
Oh, found
We
it.
need to invest in horses.
I have a horse. I don't want to be the only one riding while everyone else is walking.
I'll bet up there.
You probably could. Rook's a pretty good horse.
While we're walking,
Go ahead.
while we're walking, at some point, I'm gonna step back and use my sending stone.
All right.
Hey Nala, how's the weather up there? I'm hoping the storm is slowed down, and oh my God, shit's kicking up here. People are running around biting other people and causing them to get sick. We're going to work on it, but please be safe. Not a fucking second goes by when I don't want you, when I that I don't miss you and your stupid antics and your stupid books.
Okay. So a few seconds later, here. Hey, babe. Yeah, storms are still going on, and that's crazy. That's crazy. People biting each other. I mean, huh. Sounds like a scary situation, but we're still trucking on, and I'm all right. And I miss you too. I really miss you too, babe. Yeah, stay safe, and if I ever get there, I really want you to. That's the end.
She starts like she's holding it to her ear, and then like from the back room she just starts like going really wide-eyed and just kind of sticks it back in her pocket and is just she hugs the thing and is holding back laughter. Just hugging that plushie and going along like fucking
Okay.
hell.
Goddamn.
Wow. Inspired by your book.
What can I say? What can I say? I'm a chameleon.
God.
Oh.
All right, so you guys head out of the city hall, traveling your way through the southern parts of Talon to you get to these great gates, these great metal gates. And there are a bunch of horses and caravans that are entering within, and also just students walking. their uniforms being kind of these beautiful white and navy blue capes that are wrapped around their shoulders, along with just neutral colored tops and bottoms. Um, but this is what you see. When
Kadani
you
is
start.
entirely distracted by the horses and the caravans. Entirely. She completely misses that there are other people.
um, as you arrive at Corvale, you see dozens of young people and creatures of all types walking, laughing, goofing around, and interacting with each other as they go up this grand set of staircases. And scene change on roll 20. There we go. You also see splashes on the coastline, as Corvale is right on the coast of Pyre. And you see people drying themselves off as they walk onto the shore and carrying these bags with them, their hair shimmering in the sunlight. And as you walk with them, you all cross a bridge that goes over this beautiful river that flows right underneath. You can see fish and what you now know as merfolk swimming in it. You finally come to this gargantuan stone arch that leads you into the university quad. This big open space with benches and tables for the students to sit at, a student supply store, and some more staircases to different entrances to labeled sub-buildings. The overall look of the building is very regal and has a great amount of detail to its architecture, and almost like the perfect balance between land and sea, with extravagant water features and foliage draping over the walls and gables. Scene change! Sorry.
Oh, guys, we're walking so fast.
This was a school, not a city. Good God. Holy.
I thought it was a school, not a water park.
So yeah, there's a bunch of students. Right now, the classes have not yet started. Um, um, However, you do see kind of like on the school stores, there are displays of medals and trophies and best-selling books within the city, and also pictures of like winning teams, um, teams that you've never heard of before, like aqua dance and flying competitions, stuff like that.
Where do we even
My days
start?
in Pyre, and I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. I really went to the wrong school.
You went to school?
A little. Did you not?
And I'll walk off.
Alright, alright.
That says it all.
I think so.
You hear the school bell go off, and people will start to scatter. And coming from one of the staircases, you hear a voice. That's saying, all right, get to class. Everybody get to class at once, this instance. Boom! And as the as the crowds start to clear, you can't really pinpoint the voice until you suddenly hear below you, and who are you?
Investigative unit.
Who are you?
When you look down, you see a white tabby cat with long whiskers and bright blue eyes and turquoise colored fur on their paws. He's wearing a pair of copper spectacles and often has a serious look on his face. A long tail that drags on the floor and is about 2.5 feet tall. They don't tolerate any sort of tomfoolery in Barley, you've noticed. And he goes, investigative unit. So you are the group that I'm supposed to chaperone and babysit.
Certainly,
Don't appreciate the tone, though.
that's more than
I
fine.
appreciate the favor.
Kidani is absolutely delighted.
Well,
Falcon is
I
silent.
job very, very seriously, and I don't appreciate you just dawdling with your standing around like you don't know what you do. And so, follow me. And he turns and stomps off.
Falcon's got this look of the audacity.
Sanji's gonna look at Maeveryn and just be like, when we're done. Like taking a purse.
Absolutely. I'll take great pleasure in it.
Do you think he'd be upset if we call it a kitty? I think it's probably gonna be.
I think you should
I think
try it.
That would be a terrible idea. Have you tried
Don't
calling
do
French
it.
a lizard? I did once. He almost killed me in my sleep.
You can certainly try.
Kidani
Might be
just
offended.
scampers after the cat.
Okay.
So-
Ha! Investigative unit. Not even official yet. However,
I apologize, sir. I didn't catch your name. What was it again?
oh, why? I'm Professor Levant.
Professor Levant? Pleasure to meet you.
Ah, I suppose it's a pleasure to meet you.
Do
I
you...
believe. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I
What
was...
is,
Kidani, go ahead.
what is something that you teach, sir?
I teach potions and poisons here at the school.
I think there's something we need to give to you for investigation here later on. If you would be interested in looking at it, per the mayor's order.
Oh, yes, I love strange gifts from strange people.
And this one's particularly strange.
Hand it over.
And she looks at Matthew.
He'll take it off of his coat and do be ever so careful with it, but I'm sure it's no news to you.
He kind of touches his spectacles and looks at it further. I suppose I can take a look at it. And he puts it into his coat pocket. Now come on, hurry now. The headmaster is waiting for you and she does not like to wait.
Kidani, I am so glad you've been handling that.
Good job.
I want to kick it.
Never liked
I thought-
cats.
I thought Matthew was a violent one. God damn.
It's not,
Y'all
it's not the fact
ruthless.
that they're a cat. It's the fact that they're an asshole.
It's fine.
To be fair, that's what we're doing. Again,
We're really stereotyping now.
I
Donnie's
didn't do
mule
it.
continues bouncing after.
Yeah, maybe he's just gonna sigh and just keep walking.
Okay,
I get
so
paid for this.
he's just muttering to himself angrily as he leads you into this really grand room. It's like this circular domed room that has a beautiful skylight shining down on this massive solar system-esque type of structure and artwork. And right at the base of it are what to be desk workers, in which he marches right up to the person who is manning it and goes, investigative unit for Professor. Wait. And he looks to all of you. Are you sure that you're here to see Headmaster Effian?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That was our understanding.
Positive.
Well, you heard me, Professor. No. Well, I suppose. Yes, Headmaster Effian. And the receptionist just kind of rolls her eyes and nods, and gets up to walk to a room over there. Well, I'm sure that whatever you have to consult with her has to be in private. So I leave you be. I no longer have to take care of you. And walks away.
Thank you so much for your time.
We'll find you later.
Thank you for leaving.
He just goes.
Enjoy the
He
poison.
just goes.
Do come back whenever you have any result on the échantillon.
Oh, shall we go in?
I think that's
Alright.
best.
You have the paper.
Alright. And Kidani kinda goes. He goes up.
Okay. So, the person who was manning the desk comes right back out, and says, "Please follow me." He leads you to another room. Okay. Okay. So, the desk assistant knocks on the door, and you hear a voice say, "Come in." And when the doors open, you are met with a very extravagant office area. The room is kind of partially circular, with the exterior lined with beautiful big windows that oversee the ocean and the coast. The main color in this room is a royal blue and bronze, with a really nice sitting area with a round ottoman with tea and newspapers and magazines atop. And sitting right on the couch, drinking tea, you see a very regal, royal blue, dragonborn woman with piercing yellow eyes, who, no matter who you are, is quite intimidating. Currently, she's wearing a very professional-looking white and yellow robes, with the Corvale crest imprinted on the left shoulder. She, you presume, is headmaster of this university. Hold on, I'm gonna lower the music, it's distracting me. The desk assistant nods her head towards the headmaster. "Your visitors, madame." And she exits the room. And she sets her tea down and stands up and goes, "So, this is the investigative unit. I am Headmaster Effian Halius. How may I be of service to you?"
Kidani does a very polite curtsy and then offers with both hands the invitation to her. We came to ask you some questions. Also, the mayor wanted me to give you this for the ball.
With a very straight posture, she doesn't even move her head to look down on you. This woman is tall. She's about 6'5". So she only kind of moves her eyes down towards you and politely takes the invitation And nods her head. Yes, the mayor had mentioned that it was pertaining to the princess.
Hi. Is
It was, and our understanding was to keep it on the down low, but now that we've finally in a position to be able to discuss it, I'm sure each of us have questions. But I think the first one should probably start along the lines of her last appearances here.
Yes. The princess and I have private tutoring together. I guess you can say she and I have gotten quite close, given her interest in my specialty here. I am also the history professor here at the university. And she motions you all to sit down as she takes a seat. The last time I saw the princess was last cycle. She had come to me, asking questions about her race's history. After that, she did not attend school or her private tutorings.
Did she seem off or an entirely normal session?
She seemed a little more eager and I guess a little more concerned than she usually is.
Did she offer any reasoning behind her line of questioning?
Given our professional relationship, I didn't see the need to pry. However, she seemed particularly persistent on the origins of a very pressing issue pertaining to the merfolk.
Which is?
She was interested in learning about Princess Rayla.
Who's that? Are we talking about the princess?
No, the princess we're talking about is Princess Vorlai. That is her name. Princess Rayla lived very long ago. I covered it briefly in our regular classes, and she wanted to know more. And so I presume that you do not know anything about the merfolk and their origins.
Hardly anything. Me, anyway. Looks around to the others.
I didn't even know they were real until recently.
I only know very little on sailor legends and some songs about.
I
Haven't
learned of their
heard much.
existence when I learned of their existence when we got this case.
Well, she were asking me about Princess Rayla, and I simply told her what had happened, which is not easy for most to hear, so please, brace yourselves. And she sits up, she goes, long ago, there was a beautiful mermaid by the name of Rayla that had a deep love for all living creatures. She was the soon-to-be queen of the underwater kingdom of Yoria, and was loved by all in her presence. The symbol of beauty, grace, and divine mercy for all merfolk. Along with this, she was incredibly powerful and talented with her magic. However, she was like no other. and was gifted with the ability to give everlasting life. Mermaids are known to save sailors from shipwrecks and drowning, I'm sure you all know, and have the ability to grant one wish to a human that the mermaid sees special to their heart. With Rayla, she fell in love with one of the human men that she had saved from drowning, and trusted him like no other before him. He, a resident of Pyre. But he had other plans in mind for her. He one day asked her to meet him at the dock district, Fettle, as they often did, a secret that was kept hidden from the merfolk. He and his accomplices kidnapped the child of the sea. They tortured her, beat her, and stripped her of the most valuable of flesh to be sold for riches. There were no laws pertaining to this 300 years ago. And Rayla, in a moment of strength and desperation, called upon the forces of the sea and used her one wish on herself to escape from the pain. The outcome of this plea was answered, but not in a way that has ever been seen before. She transformed into a vicious, bloodthirsty creature. She managed to kill the humans for what they had done and escaped back to the sea. But this act was forbidden by the merfolk, going against their most precious vows, in which was to never kill another living creature. Upon her return, she was exiled from the kingdom of Vioria, was torn from her crown, and told to never return. In the name of the sea, her kind was cursed to never be able to set foot on land again, thus creating a new creature of the sea. The Sirens. Rayla's crown was dismantled and reduced into 4 gems, harnessing her power into each piece. The king of the merfolk thought it wise to hide these across the land and sea, where no one would ever dare to search. Merfolk were also once allowed on land freely, but as the siren threat grew, so did the danger for merfolk and land dwellers. The king of the time negotiated with Pyrut, the mayor of the time, deciding that although merfolk should experience the land, it would be best for the ability to walk freely on land to be limited. So, with the consumption of finweed, merfolk are able to walk on land for school temporarily. This is what I told her. And she asked me further about Rayla's crown, which I had no answer, given no one knows, except maybe for the royal sea family, of the whereabouts of this crown. I just hope that the princess isn't doing what I fear she may be doing.
What do you fear she may be doing, and how much info does she have to accomplish that?
None to my knowledge, however. The reason the king all those years ago hid the pieces of the crown was because this is a legend, so I don't know for sure. However, if this crown were to be rebuilt, the wearer of this crown will break the curse on sirens, giving them freedom to walk on land. And I would imagine, given their nature towards humans, that would be a very dire situation.
Why would Rayla have any interest in allowing that kind of thing to happen?
Repeat that again?
Why would Rayla have any interest in allowing that kind of thing to happen?
It was not Rayla's choice. She was stripped of her crown. It was the
Oh.
king. It was the king who thought it would be better to.
I think he meant the
I
other,
meant
the current
Vorla.
princess.
I meant the current princess. I mixed them up.
Vorlai. I do not know. That's what scares me.
Did anyone else see her before she went missing, save for you?
Well, the only other relationships that she is in are not only her siblings who also attend this university. They are currently still at the Kingdom of Yoria, following up the search for her there. Only other relationships are a sort of boyfriend, I assume. Yes, I think his name was Adam. Adam Voltry. Yes, the head of the flying team here.
Would it be possible for us to question him? He might have some insights.
Of course. She walks over to a very large archive of all different types of folders and books, and she goes through all of them, skims them alphabetically to find his name. She flips through the papers and she goes, according to his schedule, right now he should be at flying practice for the next hour. The flying team practices out there, and she points towards one of the windows, and out there you see a huge, like, what we know as like a football field. And there are students down there with a lot of different creatures. That's where he will be.
Okay.
In your own opinion, with the Princess Woman, do you think that I don't know exactly how to ask this, but do you think that she might have felt pity on Princess Relia with being, the same situation?
I'm not too sure. Vorlai, I can say, is a very intelligent young lady. And very kind and generous, top of her class. If she were to be reconstructing this crown, I would deduce that it would have to be for a very serious situation.
Do you happen to have any leads on where any of these pieces of the crown might be?
I do not. I'm afraid only the royal family would have any sort of inkling as to where to start to look.
I think with her being royal, I think that's some cause for concern.
I think we should speak to her boyfriend, Adam.
It certainly
It's-
would be a great lead.
Madam, on top of that, I know you didn't, you don't have personal connections with all of your students, but you said you had a little more of one with, Lorelai. I was wondering, do you have any knowledge of her habits outside of school, or schedule, anything that we could retrace from the day that, she vanished?
I do know that her parents, the king and queen, have stripped her royal right to walk the land freely. As with all of her, or all of their children. They are very protective, rightfully so, given their status. And so, just like all the other merfolk who do come here, they get ration of finmead on the shore before they are to enter the school, which allows them to roam the land for around 7 to 8 hours, a full school day, unless given proper permission to have extra ration. That does raise another concern, given that if a mermaid is on land in their merfolk form for too long, they are in danger of drying out.
So you're saying she's either had to go back to the sea or, you know,
It could be being somewhere more inland with water. We don't know. Maybe she has more portions of the weed.
Would it also be possible to take a look here at the books for the portion, the rationing for Finmead? If we were to go to the docks.
Documentation regarding finweed rations, you would have to go to the finweed station, which is located at the shore. Talk to Professor Gregorius Shea. He should be there.
And I do have one more question. I think it might be a very weird one, but do mermaids require salt water from the sea, or is fresh water enough to keep them from drying out?
I suppose that both fresh and salt water is efficient. However, I'm not a merfolk myself, so.
Definitely. Question.
If it would help you, she goes over to the bookcase. Here is a book of all the information you need to know on mermaids. Their laws, their abilities, their origins.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you.
we have something for you as well. An invitation from the mayor.
Yes, I
Katani.
believe your friend had already given that.
Oh my god. Yeah, my bad.
I was.
I mean, if you were looking at something, someone else, I totally. Anyway, ma'am, I have a question about
And I'll pop open the map crate on my hip as I finish that comment with Maeve. And I pull out the map.
This is a little off topic, but we're curious. Is there anything at this location that you would know It's outside in the bay, as far as we're aware. And I'll show her that.
This location is unfamiliar to me.
Inside check.
Okay.
Oh, Tenji, you little rascal.
17.
17. She's telling the truth.
Okay. Alright, we appreciate it.
Of course. And another word to the wise. Her face kind of darkens. If anything were to happen to this city, it would be the end of this world. If it has anything to do with the sirens.
Why do you say that?
Sorry. From what I've heard of the nature of these sirens, their one purpose is to kill. So them being able to freely walk on land would not be very good.
There's just the one, though, isn't there?
I'm not sure. Given that it still raises a concern, there's definitely still a population, though.
You'll forgive me, but I can only imagine that a simple species wouldn't fare well against an entire continent that seems to be being placed at more than less favorable odds.
The entire continent is surrounded by water, sir.
Still, tales of siren are far and few between, if I'm correct.
We should hope.
If I've learned
Kadani,
anything. Sorry.
Kadani kind of gestures to like the book. Is there any kind of research on sirens like this? Has anybody like anything? Like what if there might be one or anything that might be at least a little more?
None have lived to tell the tale of them and their nature.
Okay.
You should hurry. Adam will not be in his class for much longer.
Right. Thank you.
For taking the time.
Of course. I shall see you all at the Half Moon Ball here soon.
Certainly so.
Well, till then.
Thank you.
Scuttles out. Have a wonderful day. Well, hopefully we'll be back with better news.
You too.
Well, they were much more agreeable than Professor Levant.
You've got out of it.
No, they were much more agreeable than Professor Levant. Did I cut out again?
No, reading you said they were much more agreeable than the professor. Okay.
Fucking dead.
Honestly, what the fuck, guys? I'm very. I think there is a connection terms of the goo that we've been dealing with and this, if we consider the legends, goo that controls people's minds, would it be too far out of a realm of concern?
I can agree to that theory. So far, the
I like it.
kidnapping.
It makes
here.
sense.
And
God.
didn't we have didn't they discuss that this happens, or it affects humanoids more than it does anything else?
At the very least, it seems to be their target.
To have human be the main targeting of this attack might be also a conclusion if Sarwen were created by their own doing, their own betrayal. Certainly wouldn't be too far of a stretch to assume that they seek a greater revenge. I shall also go on a limb and assume that the map that we have found might lead to what I would assume be a shard of the crown. But we could only
I feel like
confirm
that's
that.
a jump. Do you really think so?
I'd like to imagine so. To have the individual, like what's her name? The person we just met.
If we pick a very specific goal before the end of the day, and I'm doing agreement on it tonight, I might have something that can help, but we'll get to that when it happens.
Certainly.
For now, we need to speak with this Adam Voltry.
We can walk and talk.
I'm worried about history repeating itself. Yeah.
How's...
If I may, I have an odd feeling.
What is it?
Alright. That isn't it odd that Marcus Good was a sailor and he got this and has most likely in contact with the water, and on the newspaper where there are so many people going missing, and everything with the shipping containers and ships and such.
Read my
Everything
mind.
ties back to the Dock District.
Unfortunately.
And I'm
Which...
having my own result. Sorry,
No, go.
I'm having an odd inkling that somehow Arthurn is tied into this. Somehow. I can't pin it. But something is too odd to just...
I agree.
Perhaps we could talk to Gaia again, see if she's any more information to provide us.
It may be a hard discussion, but I think we should also figure out how Arthur got to her. That may not be a easy conversation, but there may be details.
Yes.
Parallels there, too.
I'm worried with the Dock District. Everything does seem to point that direction. But does anyone else feel like Jimmy, or whatever, too many syllables, was...
Jiminy.
Too many syllables. Jimmy was, a little too deflective about things happening under his district, which he seems to have quite the ability to keep a watch over.
I don't know.
I wouldn't go too far as to immediately place blame upon the owner and leader of the district, but it can certainly be a lead.
It could be an image issue, and that's why he's trying to deflect so as to not compromise the appearance of the Dog District.
Could be something like that.
something happening under his nose. Even if he's innocent.
I'm sure that a round of questioning with him won't hurt.
At the very least, warning him of our new discoveries.
We have to be careful with how we approach him. With so much work to do in his district, it's gonna be a bit of a balance game.
We need him agreeable to anything that we might want to do in his district.
Exactly.
Gosh, we go looking for our lost princess, and here we are, doomsday.
Well,
One thing at a time, I suppose. Right?
that's how all the tales of legend go.
Joyous day.
Typical bard.
I feel like tales of legends are usually fluffed. There's a lot less blood.
I mean, depending on your
Alright.
counts. I could always add more blood into this.
Please
Anyway.
don't. We've seen enough of it this week. The cycle, excuse me.
Should we go
You're
find
drinking
him?
chocolate milk.
We're walking and talking. It's
From
fine.
the jug?
Wait, hold on.
Yo.
Brandon, we literally talked about this before everyone joined in. My dude, you just said your stomach is killing you.
Oh yeah.
It is. It is.
You
I'm
had
okay.
like
Stop!
Why did you commit that crime?
I can. I'm not lactose intolerant. I'll survive.
you also had like what? How much pizza did you have?
I didn't say pizza. It's pita.
A pita.
Pita.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Like the animal association?
No, I wish.
The bread?
No, a
just
pita bread.
casually mentions eating the entire PETA organization. All right,
Dude,
Oh my
valid.
you've done a good service to this world. So.
Fuck yeah.
Alright.
Down!
Anyway, flying school. Let's go.
Thanks, school, because that's a thing. And of course, the mermaid person is with the dude who can fly the best.
So, as you navigate your way through the school,
Parents.
passing by multiple lectures of all different types of classes. So cool. So freaking cool. You get to the outside area and walk onto this massive clearing of kind of faux grass with like white and yellow markings on it, with numbers at it as well. But all in a line, you see multiple different students with protective gear on, each of them standing next to a perspective flying creature. There are griffins, there are chimeras, there are baby dragons on here. And walking or like pacing back and forth in front of them, you see a very short and stout woman. She looks elderly with glasses at the tip of her nose, her ears very long that kind of turn downward. A dwarven woman who is seemingly giving them a lecture on how to properly mount their perspective. Sure.
What are they flying on again? Is it just like general, or is it like different kind of?
It's all different types of things. There are people with griffins, with chimeras, with baby dragons, with brooms.
Are there Pegasus?
Yeah, there's Pegasus.
Donnie is instantly like eyes focused on those. Okay.
And as you mount your weapon, please remember to always remember safety first. Please. Don't want anyone going to the medical unit today.
Excuse me? Yeah, investigative unit. Can we talk to you for a second?
Well, I'm in the middle of my class. Could this wait?
We would like to require the attention of one of your students, Adam Voltri, I believe. We have question for him.
Of course, Voltri. What have you done now? Go on. And out from the line, you see a beautiful looking man with very long blonde hair that's kind of half up, with piercing green eyes, that kind of raises his hand and goes, "Yeah, I guess you found me," or whatever. And as he walks, his hair shimmering in the sun with the indicator that he is also a merfolk. He walks up to you, kind of, sluggishly goes, "I'm here at your presence."
Pleasure to meet you. We have a few questions regarding the disappearance of Princess Voralai.
Who?
Did I mispronounce it?
Oh, right, the princess. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. She's cool, hot, smart.
What
Is that all you wanted to know?
No.
Can we go over here to the side to talk? We have a few questions here for you.
Sure. Coolio. He walks around with you.
Oh, I'm restraining myself so much to punch him.
What is the nature of your relationship with the princess again? Remind me.
On and off, here and there. She's good to have around. Good to have around. Cool chick.
Huh.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Do you know her on a personal level at all?
Oh yeah. I mean,
We don't need that kind of detail.
Yeah, perhaps have a little respect for royalty.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
missing?
No, of course, of course. All I'm saying is that there's a reason they call it motion in the ocean.
Maeveryn's just gonna put her hand on her dagger.
Falcon is white knuckling. Hard. Bad.
Your insight check was a 8.
Yes.
He seems like your typical Chad dude. He's very nonchalant, very calm about this, given, the school definitely knows of the princess's disappearance.
You don't really seem to care that she's gone.
I mean, I haven't really talked to her in a few days. Something about, like, kissing another girl or whatever, but I didn't do that.
Inside check.
Please.
How tall is he, by the way?
12.
He's about 5'10".
I've done damn, he's taller than Matthew, fuck.
Taller than
16.
me. I've stared him down.
16.
Yeah.
He definitely kissed another girl.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah, this isn't about me,
Kind of is.
When was the last time that you saw the princess alive?
I saw her last cycle. She said something about getting more finweed for something.
Time and date, sir.
Oh, God, time is a crazy thing. Let me see.
You better figure it out quick.
Young man, if I may suggest you something, is that we've had plenty enough of disappearances, especially of your kind, and I'd hate to have to fill another report about another merfolk disappearing, so please do take this seriously.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely taking you seriously. I want to say it was last. It was last Yossel Day, last time I saw her.
Ask Yasin.
Right before classes began, if you want to be specific.
So that would be Yossel Day the 13th.
Yeah.
And you said after classes?
Before.
Before classes.
Yeah. She confronted me about the entanglement or whatever, and then said she was.
The cheating, yes.
You know, I don't really like labels, but, what. She was going on and on about how she got extra rations for something. I wasn't really listening.
You didn't catch anything on that detail.
No.
Anything else?
I mean, I know there's this guy named Reek who is kind of a dropout, and sometimes he buys extra fin wheat to sell to the other kids when they want to stay out past the night. We're not really supposed to do that as merfolk.
Do you have contact information on this freak?
I don't, but he's always by the shore next to the fin wheat station, so.
Insight check.
Okay.
God damn it. 11.
He's telling the truth.
Do you have any physical description that we could go off from?
Short blonde hair, not as good as mine though. Brown eyes, pretty like assholey type of vibe. Can't really relate to that. Kind of stay away from the dude, you know.
You say he hangs out near the docks?
Nah, near the shore, next to the Finweed station.
Where can we find you if we have more questions? An address.
Well, I have flying practice after school. That usually goes on for about 2 hours, but we kind of have to be back to the sea by a certain time.
When is that curfew?
Early sundown.
What time do you arrive at school?
I get here, it depends on the day. But I would say I'm usually here on time for practice.
Which is when?
Mid-sun.
Thank you.
See, we
Yeah.
like labels. It makes everything easy.
What friends does the princess have here at school? Surely you would know of that.
Besides that Finweed guy, I mean, she really only ever talks to, like, her siblings. But, she ain't that popular. I gotta be real. She's nice chicken stuff, but, she can be a little intense. That's what I liked about her.
Intense, what do you mean?
You know, she speaks her mind and, you know, just going on about conservation, whatever.
She ever talk
Okay.
about Princess Rayla?
Nope. Don't ring any bells.
No crown. Nothing.
Nah.
No. Okay.
No.
While we're doing this, this is the first encounter Tanji's had face to face with merfolk, I think. So I am going to be running Hunter's Sense just to classify their general strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
Oh.
Give me 1 second.
The sun.
Come back. Second. I go to D&D Beyond.
Merfolk.
Well, I I homebrewed the mermaids for this.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So yes, this is a merfolk. The only thing was a vulnerability. Is right, yeah. Their only vulnerability is bronze.
Bronze. Okay.
Adam, would you happen to know of any people who might want something bad to happen to the princess?
I mean, no. I don't think anyone hates her or anything, or even dislikes her. She's just kind of like normal, you know? I like the way you say my name, by the way.
Excuse me?
Shut up.
You do realize I'm an enforcer.
Bonji's just like,
You're a literal child.
Maeveryn's just kind of gonna steam a little.
I'm gonna put a hand on her shoulder and just shake my head.
The mal morale. Fucking.
Mr.
Yeah.
Birdtree, please keep in mind that you are under a suspicion of a investigation of the missing princess. So please do try to keep it a little bit professional.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you. Now, you say that you currently attend flying practice. Have you attended? Do you go anywhere else besides the school? Please be
Nah.
honest.
I mean, sometimes a buddy and I will get extra fin weed from the dude and go to like taverns and shit, but like that rarely happens. We could get in a lot of trouble for staying out past night.
Yes, so earlier you did state that you don't typically, correspond with Reed. And now you are stating that you do.
Well, my friends. I don't like to talk to the dude. He
Do
weirds
you
me
have
out.
their names?
My friends' names?
Yes, please.
Oh, let's see. Well, there's Duke. There's Rory, and then there's Tad.
Tad?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any particular reason why you don't like to hang out with Reek?
He's on that I'm better than you archetype hippie shit. I don't really like that.
yeah, never run into one of those before.
Hate that. The worst.
Oh my god.
I know, right? It's
Oh,
so
man.
lame.
Does anyone else have any questions?
We may return to ask you a few more questions here, Adam. Thank you for your time. Unless
Yeah.
everybody else has some questions to ask.
I might have one for the last one.
Oh, there you go.
Would you be in any possession of extra, what's the name?
Finweed?
Finweed.
Nah, I don't have that.
Insight.
Okay.
We just really hate this dude.
Fair. I
Fucking snitch him out
I
to the
wanna
headmaster with that shit.
Yeah, I do.
I wanna-
I'm trying.
wanna punch him so bad.
I rolled a 12.
Fuck.
He's telling the truth.
Okay.
As far as
He's
you know.
not evil, he's just a douchebag.
Michael!
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 Well, our DM obviously plays it that way.
Yeah, I know, that's fair. That's valid.
Maeve's gonna Maeveryn's gonna put a hand on his shoulder and kind of go, Adam, is there anything else you can tell us? Like a little.
Appropriate reaction.
Sacrifice for the troops.
I mean, I benched 350.
About the case, stupid.
God, I hate this.
Yeah, about the case. Why we're here talking to you.
Oh, hell.
Underwater, right?
Seaweed for brains.
Johnny is writing that down, honestly.
My god, I've been 350.
No. I mean, to be honest, I'm way too focused on my team to really, you know, concern myself with too many chicks.
Get the fuck out of my face. I'm done.
Wow.
Valid. Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, you cheated on a bloody princess. You're never gonna get better than that.
Yeah. He goes, I like you too, hot stuff.
Maeveryn's grabbing her knife, just clutching that thing.
I'm putting my arms around her and walking away.
You filthy son of.
Hey, Johnny.
I'm basically.
Johnny waves to the flight
No.
instructor to tell him makes like a "we're done here" kind of motion, and she just goes, "Thank you, Mr. Vertree. I hope you have a wonderful day."
I hope you die in a hole. I've got both arms around Maeveryn's waist, walking away.
Pleasure.
It's okay.
I'm gonna kill him.
Don't.
We are
You
not
can't do
allowed
that.
to
It's a
kill.
child.
Unfortunate.
I believe we've broken that rule at least once.
Okay, no need,
Could break it again.
guys. Have some goals.
Oh, aren't you in the mood for fish? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm. Let's just
It's
move on.
okay.
Let's just move
We
It's
should've
completely
asked,
understandable.
I should have asked where Professor Gregoria Shea is.
on. I think she's
Oh.
by the stall. Is what we were told. No.
Yes, along with the rig.
Reek.
I do put Maeveryn down.
I kind of want.
I apologize for the invasion of space.
It's fine. I would have stabbed him, so thank you.
Oh, famous quote moment.
I Falcon busts out laughing.
God damn.
Honestly, I think later, like we could probably come back and stab him. After we get immunity to, because we rescued the princess. But anyway, probably should go find this Reek person.
Probably.
I kind of want to go tattle on him because now I have names. I kind of want to go tattle on him to Professor Gregoria Shea of they was like, hey, we have it on a written account. Say this happened. So hey,
And let kids be kids.
Let's
I'm
give
not
this
sure.
Reed guy a shot. If this asshole hates him, maybe he's half decent.
Hey Matthew,
True.
you've got a little something going on your head.
When all of you look over to Matthew,
What?
you see a very large pair of bunny ears sprouting from his head. And then as he turns around, there's a bunny tail.
That's a nice look on you.
Matthew, you look spectacular.
And as students,
What happened?
as students walk by and start laughing and pointing at him, he goes, "Oh, dude, he's been atomed."
Oh.
Maeve's gonna turn around and start walking towards you.
She picks her up. Sorry about the invasion of privacy.
Oh.
We're
Connie
Only
is
we are
now
allowed.
like, how did that happen? Like, she wants to know.
Do you see any
Now-
culprit? It's like,
Yeah, you heard the culprit.
yeah, it's Adam. It's like, he was just there.
Adam.
Adam!
Adam!
Adam.
Adam!
Adam! How could you?
Ah,
I
And-
agree.
like, it's just like a disguise stuff, right? It's just.
No. When
No.
you run your fingers through them, they kind of dissipate and then form right back on there. It's illusion.
It's an illusion.
Oh, it's an illusion. Oh, I see.
Maeve's gonna tug the tail, and when it, doesn't bother him, damn.
Disappointed, Maeve.
Maeve misses the tail and like smacks it.
I was just. Let's go find Reek.
I give her a small pat on the back.
All right. So, as you
I
guys
was
make your
almost
way to
debating
the
shooting him.
shores,
Fucking hell.
as you guys make your way to the shores, there is a decent sized shack that is off to the side of the shore, about like I want to say 50 feet away from the entrance, like the bridge that you guys crossed to get inside. And as you walk around, this shack doesn't have is like a completely open place. There's no door or anything. It's just completely open, and there are hundreds and hundreds of jars of this green substance. And it's also hanging, you presumably drying from the ceiling. And Manning, the thing that's standing out to you within this dark shed and all the green is a creature that you've never really seen before. This person with both his hair and beard and attire is a bright pink with floppy ears coming out and two horns coming up from his temples as he's pouring himself a nice cup of tea. His features being that or reminiscent of a cow. Minding his own business.
Falcon's got a hand on her hatchet at her side, just what the fuck?
Hello. He puts the tea down. How can I help you folks today? You don't seem to be merfolk.
We'll give that away.
What's that green goblin?
Well, yes, what can I help you with?
Missing princess. We got some questions for you.
Yes, Princess Warlar. Scary, very scary. What can I do?
Are you Reek?
Reek. No, I am not Reek.
Are you Professor Gregoria?
Gregoria Shea, yes.
I missed entirely the description.
Yeah, I zoned out on the cow.
So did I.
I heard cow and pink, and I fucking
Just
zoned,
kind of
whoops.
panicked.
All of you can roll a history check to see what he is.
God damn it.
Alright. What's
I
the
wasn't
moon?
expecting another professor. My mind didn't put a divider there.
3. 3 kind of
13.
explains. Three explains the reaction
16.
of what the fuck.
Kadani rolled a 7. She just entirely believes she's talking to a sentient cow.
8. Maeve is barely above that.
13, if that's anything.
Yeah, so Tanji, you would know that, perhaps from your travels, perhaps from spending time at Wheat Street, this is a Bucentaur. And the description is, with gray fur and long, wavy pink hair, and a beard. He is mostly humanoid in appearance, however, having the nose of a cow or ox and a septum piercing, with two small upturned black horns on his head and a pair of droopy ox ears.
And what did you say it was called?
A Bucentaur.
Bucentaur. Okay. Well then, pardon my manners.
Yeah, you're
Professor.
totally good, but yeah, I'm not familiar with a reek. Or maybe it wasn't pixies who have been stealing my rations. Am I right with that?
I don't know anything about it.
Things just go missing sometimes.
Well, that's for sure. Anyways, you have any other questions for me?
I actually was wanting to take a look here at your books. See, we're with the investigation squad here, in Pyre, and we're looking into the missing princess. I was wanting to see if there was a way I could check your books, but since you mentioned you're missing some, I guess that kind of answers that question.
Yes, very much so. I can only really be here during school hours, and I only really give extra rations to the athletes or the people who are in clubs of merfolk, of course. But even that, they are properly registered and authorized to do so. Was somebody going to ask?
Maeveryn's trying to speak, but
I'm
can't hear
muted.
her.
Yeah.
Entire time, just talking to herself over there.
Do you ever have the princess come round asking for extra rations?
Say that again, you cut out.
Oh! Do you ever have the princess come around asking for extra rations?
The princess? Nah. She's never really came around here, asking for extra finweed. Her boyfriend has, though.
For what purposes?
Well, he's head of the flying team.
Right. When was the last time he asked for more finweed?
Today. They have practice later on today.
Was there by chance any other member of the royal family who might have requested?
No, we were given strict orders by the headmaster to not be generous with the finweed with the royal children. They're quite a big deal around here if you didn't notice already.
Alright.
As much as I enjoy this question,
We're sorry. It's been a long day. I did have a question. When was the last time that you saw the princess?
the last time I saw the princess was last Yossel Day.
Last Yossel Day. Was that in the morning or in the evening?
That was in the morning.
Alright.
When she came to get her rations, and he flips through the papers and goes, "Yeah, right there." Voralai.
Did she state anything out of the ordinary or anything at all?
No, she's pretty quiet, very polite young girl. Keeps to herself, from what
Was
I
she
hear.
dressed differently or have any extra bags?
She had a cloak on, one that I hadn't seen before. dark-colored cloak, but I just assumed that was part of the trend these days.
Yeah, a lot of kids wearing cloaks.
Of what color was the cloak?
It looked black.
Did anything about her appearance look off other than the cloak? Did she look extra pale?
Oh, he looked perfectly fine to me. You start to hear a whistle coming from outside the cabin.
Is that
And
from
immediately
night
goes
practice?
to my hatchet.
Maeve's gonna walk outside.
I'm gonna follow, handle my hatchet.
Fine day to you, and
Okay, bye.
Thank you for your assistance. We may be in contact with you here later with some extra questions. And thank you. And you said, I just wanted to verify real quick. With the finweed, you said you could only give it out to those who have authority, like any sort of authority?
I'm only able to really give it out to normal merfolk students, or they have to have authorization to have extra rations if they have after school curriculars. Other than that, from time to time, sometimes students who are not merfolk want to have a little dip in the sea, and so they come to me for some finweed.
Oh,
It has
okay.
reverse effects.
Yeah.
Maeve's gonna back up into the tent, or into the shed and be like, can we get some?
I'm afraid I can't really do that since you're not students.
Right. We appreciate
I
it.
was wanting to compare it to a weird sample that we found. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Anything.
I can pay double what you normally would,
As much as I appreciate your determination, young
Triple?
lady. No. I don't really
She's looking at Maeve like,
use money, you know?
I understand. Thank you. I greatly appreciate your help.
thought money bought everything. Alright.
I can assure you it doesn't.
early lesson.
Thank you. Maeve's gonna go back out.
As soon as Maeve gets out, Tom steps out with her and just mutters, "We'll wait till we find Reek."
Yes, well, I was hoping to procure it from a more official means, but sure, some smelly, weird hippie kid. That'll be great.
It'll be great.
That's where I get all the best weeds.
When you guys walk outside, sitting about 20 feet away, is a merman. Short blonde hair, smoking something, in his mermaid form by the shore.
Walk over.
Reek! Hey!
Really assumptive. This is gonna get awkward like 3 times over.
So good to see you, Reek. It's been a while, man.
Is it he? Where did the whistle come from? Is it from him? Oh,
Hello, do I know you?
Yeah, dude, I bought finweed off you like a dozen times.
Roll deception, Jerry.
Shit.
Fucking hell.
of all the thing, come on.
Okay.
And is there any way Kadani could try to like help do the help out? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I'm gonna let Matthew watch from afar. Ain't no way.
What would Kadani helping there do? Would that be advantage or?
Yeah, to give advantage.
Okay, thank God. Oh, thank God. 16?
For a split moment, Reek was like, "Oh yeah," but then, upon further inspection of your attire, he goes, "Nah, I think I'd remember if I gave any Finweed to enforcers." So
What the fuck? We're not wearing. Shit.
What up, cops? Alright. Look. Someone else take over.
Yep, okay. So, this is off badge, kid. We're looking for someone. I don't know if they were a friend of yours or not, but it is relatively important to us. And the school's stingy with the Finweed, but we went ahead and did you a favor and kept the information that you're passing around from getting out to the professors. So, in return for that, and of course for a penny, I was hoping that you would be offering to give us some, in case we need it in one of our circumstances up next.
Perhaps at a discounted price.
Ignore her.
roll a persuasion check.
Okay. That's
At
terrible.
at disadvantage.
Fucking hell! Fucking.
Yeah, persuasion, disadvantage. This is gonna hurt. Okay.
Is there a way I could just be intimidating and help him?
4.
I don't know.
Um, do you want to intimidate him?
I just want to be there menacingly and just be like, yeah.
Stand.
Sure,
Maybe
roll
where to it, the little one says.
roll intimidation check.
God damn
Please
it.
tell me it's the second one.
Hang on. I don't. Hang on. Fuck no.
Does
I
not you
didn't
still have
raise.
the bunny here?
Yes.
Fuck, never mind. I can do shit. Can do
You can
shit.
stand by intimidating behind him.
Let you be like,
Well, we're
We need art of
outside
that.
of 100 miles from where I'm born, so no.
Listen, man, we just
Pretty sure.
we're trying to find the princess and trying to make sure she's, not dead in a ditch somewhere. Is there any way you could give us some assistance?
See, that's what I was kind of expecting. Well,
We don't
Yeah.
want to rat you out. You are 20 feet away from the professor, my dude. Honestly, if you have gone this far without being caught, there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. So, just can you help us out?
yeah, Princess came to me last Yossel Day, talking about she needed more rations to use it all, and let me tell you, costed her a pretty penny. She asked for about 10 extra rations. And never really heard from her again.
was it the first occurrence of her requesting or buying from you?
Say what now?
Was it the first time that
Man, you talk funny.
Oh my god, this fucker, oh my god.
I hate these kids. I hate
No wonder my people fucking sold their skin. Holy fuck, dude.
What the?
God!
Hold on.
Out of character!
Shit, homie. Okay, I
Out
was
of
right.
character. As if that makes it any better.
I don't care! It's true!
Oh my god.
She needed 10 extra rations?
Yeah. And it was premium, so like the extra rations is about like 10 to 12 hours per ration.
Ooh, so those, because the ones that the school's giving isn't it like more 8 hours? How do you make them more premium?
Well, the thing that old Gregory doesn't tell people, he experiments a little bit here and there with the Finweed, and that's one of them.
Interesting.
Not for like, I don't want to diss on the guy. He's like really cool. Like he uses it more for the people who need it.
I don't know. I definitely not getting him in trouble. It's fascinating how they've been able to extend the life out like that. Is there any way that we could perhaps get our hand on some of the premium Finweed just to run it for some tests? Because if she's been out here for that long, I'm wanting to see exactly how long it's gonna last and what effects it might have of her being out of the water for so long. Especially because it's as they have the rules that you guys have to go to the sea.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but given that she, came to me for extra Finweed, I doubt she's, in the water somewhere, and so I don't really know what giving you Finweed would really help with.
Just roll with it, dude.
Wow. What's in it for me then?
Oh, let's see.
We don't route you out.
I'll have to recheck the punishment for selling contraband upon school property, as well as stealing from school property as well. But I'm sure I can come back to you with it after we put you within handcuff, or just Falcon can certainly grab you and bring you to the center of town.
Jesus.
Bunny Rabbit saying this right now.
Yeah.
The fact that you were able to crack your knuckles so many times, I think.
That was a good one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that deserves advantage on an intimidation.
Alright,
Please. Can I roll it?
Nice.
I'll give you some. A bag that was on the opposite side of him, he reaches out and passes you a little tiny cloth bag. There you go.
Can I insight and see if it seems to be honest product or cheap shit?
Yeah, go ahead. What?
The spray bottle.
Be honest. What'd you get? A natural one.
Oh no.
Yep. Good old natural one from Mr. Rabbit.
You're too distracted by your own new appendages to
Oh.
really care whether or not it's viable.
So, do you, smoke it? Or...
I'll try
Really?
it.
Mhm.
No, this is seaweed.
Oh, but the Finweed, how do we...
Oh, you just eat it.
Oh. Cool.
I wouldn't do it now. Outside of the water, that's pretty dangerous. I would not do that.
Gotcha.
Not
I take
hungry.
it that none of you have really gotten your sea legs before.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Since you said that you have to be in water, what affects this Finweed humanoids?
It depends on the person. I've never really given it to anyone for the opposite effect. But from what I've heard, you get a tail and the ability to breathe underwater.
Mhm.
If if the time limit that you said for the premium is 10 to 12 hours, and that's what you give the princess, then that puts it at she could be on land just about 120 hours, so 5 days. If I'm not bad wrong.
I mean, I'm not the only one, and neither is Gregory who sells it. I'm sure down by the docks it would be of sale somewhere for the sailors.
Gotcha. Now, I do have another question, if it's okay. Do you and the princess often talk to each other or interact?
No, that was the first time.
Gotcha.
And I thought, what the hell? She's locked up in that water prison all the time. Give her some freedom, you know?
I can understand that. Thank you so much for your time and for your assistance.
Of course. Was my pleasure.
All right. About what time is it?
It's a little bit past mid-sun.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know how? Do I know if this spell has concentration on it by any sort of mean, or does it just seem to be like just a magic fade that lasts like an hour or some shit?
It would last about an hour, yeah.
Okay, fair. I'm about to go shoot him down.
Maeve's ready for it.
Anybody else feeling up for some sushi for dinner or for lunch?
Delicious.
Wow.
You're,
I
you're
wouldn't
fucked up.
expect that from you.
That sounds amazing, though.
That's cold.
Holy shit.
Stone cold.
Yeah, but Drench can't be in the water for too long.
Listen, can have a couple hours, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Up to 15 minutes, I think.
Oh, is that it? They might have changed it.
I think.
The motor kinds.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I know, having played one a year ago. They might, I don't know.
Right. Do we need to do further pushing at the school? Do we need to collect from Professor Levant now, or tomorrow, and continue to the funeral today?
We can certainly go and see if there was any progress, although I doubt it. It's been nearly an hour
couple
and a few.
hours.
Yeah. I say give it a day.
Yeah,
Give it-
perhaps.
We can,
Yeah.
we can always request a new enter and access for the mayor. Or by the mayor. I suggest that we get ready for the funeral.
You guys always talk to yourself.
We talk to each other.
But out of the conversation.
I'm getting real sick of these students.
Thank you, Reek. And Kadani kind of just, find herself a little bit further down the shore.
We'll see how premium your weed is.
Walking and
Shush
talking.
it. He's gonna have laced yours.
To be fair, I think he has been probably the most useful of the mermaids that we've talked to.
No bar.
Which is a
Hell, he
terribly
was-
low bar.
He was nicer than the first professor we met.
I need a
Everyone here is
drink.
kinda
He was
stuck up.
just a grumpy kitty!
Nah, that guy was
Hey,
looks around to make sure he's
for-
not around. Man, chickens of
for my expectations for a prestigious school, my standards were low, but holy fuck.
These kids are assholes.
I'm certainly glad
That's
that.
what
so glad I grew up home.
A correction, the men were assholes.
That's
Fair.
Shocker.
Headmaster was pretty. It was pretty great.
Yeah, she
Can
was.
you
fair.
expect anything different of rich people? Like, come on.
Eat the rich.
We are
Anyway.
going to get thrown out.
I
Yes.
really want to go get some sushi, or maybe some grilled fish.
Something before the
dark.
funeral.
Don't tell me you're not thinking it too. After what we've
No.
done.
I seen
Also-
all-you-can-eat buffet here.
That's simply not to point
I
out
thought
that
I was the violent
You're,
one. What
you're
the fuck?
attacking me as being the dark one. She's right there.
I didn't say she was any better, okay? Her points that I took off earlier remain down here.
Hey!
Anyway, I do think. Do you guys think there might be a connection with the finweed and the stuff that we're looking at? Cause
I don't know if it's directly to the finweed. If it has if it's been modified or has an adverse effect on humanoids on land, perhaps, but no, there's. Finweed is a magical item. What I'm getting from what we've seen so far of the goo, it's disease. It's thickness. It's not a poison.
Mm. Though, if there was anyone who could modify it, it sounds like it would be this Gregorius Shea. Something to
That's
keep in
the
mind.
professor we were just talking to.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So. Well, should we move along?
It's turning out to be a very long day.
Yes.
certainly. We still have one place to go for today.
Oh,
Exactly, any happier.
during that the most.
Or,
Huh? Let's go.
okay. So are we gonna fast forward to the funeral, or was there something else that you guys wanted to?
I think we're going out for lunch and then funeral.
On the way, though, Kandani is keeping an eye out on like some store shops to see if there's like a toy store that they might pass by.
Sure.
That way she can
Um,
clock it in her head.
So as you guys are heading back, into Talon and towards the city center, I will say that towards the city center there is not so much a toy shop, but you see an antique shop, kind of bordering the city center and Talon. And sorry. Okay. And in the window is what we would know as a sort of bicycle, along with a couple of knitted animals, coats and mittens and stuff like that, and dolls.
Tani kind of clocks it. Not quite what she's looking for, but she does clock it a little bit in her head. To come take a look at that later during her free time.
Okay. So to get some very nice fish in this town, you gotta go to Fiddle, alright? So crossing over the bridges and the docks, you enter Fiddle once more. It's pretty unlike what you've seen before, which is very few times. It's pretty lively this time. You see that the dock district is busier with carriers, messengers, and fishermen hauling in their catch for the day. And when you get to the center of the dock district, there are open stalls in which you are able to get various fish dishes and alcoholic beverages. One that kind of sparks your interest is an open sort of bar situation, and manning it is a feline person who is frantically and frivolously chopping up raw fish. and a steaming sort of pot right next to them.
What about here?
Who's food? I'm starved.
Sounds good.
Totalement.
Okay.